Hey Vanner Fanner family, it's Q&A time. But before we get into this question, let me just remind you how you can help your favorite YouTubers grow here on the YouTube platform. Watch their videos from start to finish without skipping through the video and without skipping through ads. I know they're long ones, but do your best. Also, see if they have either a Patreon or a join button if you plan to help them financially in that way by partnering with them to create content and get extra rewards and perks for being a member. Now, back to the question. Today's question comes from Mamie of Heavenly Living. And her question is 3 parts. I'm answering the first one. Mamie asks, in a previous video, you mentioned directing the heat from your one burner to your bedroom. How is that done? Well, Mamie, thank you for asking your question. Now, I'm going to have to change the camera direction to show you all exactly how I've been achieving this. So, let's get to it. So here is the basic setup. I have my one burner $18 cooktop that sits on top of the green canisters. And I have my Dollar Tree little baking dish. Yes, everything is quite dusty. So, sorry. But, and then I have my hose that goes from my propane tank in the front, my 11-pound propane tank in the front here. So the reason why this is disconnected is because the weather has warmed up. And so I'm doing this video on a very warm day. It's going to be 87 today. Anywho, so this would be, the hose would be attached to the cooktop. And then you would turn the propane on and light this. This is a $10 duct, 90-degree duct unit from Home Depot. So what I do is I sit that on top once it's lit, and then that pushes my heat to the back more so than straight up into the air. Now, I haven't had an issue with this. It does not cut the hose. It just sits right on top of it. I don't move it around. This is when I go to bed, and the heat is turned down exceptionally low. So it's just to knock the chill off the air, so that when I get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, I am not getting up to a freezing cold van. It also keeps the heat lower before it rises, so most of it does get back to me back in the bedroom area back there. So, yeah, I hope this answers your question. And again, you had a 3-parter, and I will answer your other 2 questions on a different video. So we're talking 18, 28, 29, so less than 30 bucks. I have a heater. This has gotten me through the whole winter. I was originally using this duct on top of my small cooktop, which is why I cut notches out in it. So the notches that I cut out in it would sit on the grate of the cooktop. But I decided to use this smaller one because every time I went to cook a meal, I would have to bring the cooktop over to the counter. And then I ran into the problem of being cold while cooking. And then I don't have heat on my feet while I'm standing cooking. So I decided, since I had this temporary cooktop from the other time that my burner conked out on me, and I'll link that video for you, that I would go ahead and just add this duct to it and keep this as a heater. That way my actual cooktop, which is up on the counter here, can just remain for cooking. So that's just for cooking, and that's just for heating. And then when winter comes, I will pack this back in its box under my bed. I'm not sure how I'm going to put this away because it doesn't fold flat. I would love to figure out a way to make something like this that would fold flat. Now, I do have the shield that goes with the burner, the windscreen shield, but it doesn't have a top to it. I found that this was much better than the windscreen, and I will put the windscreen on here so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the windscreen that goes around the cooktop if you're going to cook outside so that the wind doesn't blow your flame out. And I found that, I mean, this was okay. I actually used this in the beginning, but I found that, of course, your heat is still rising. But I was still getting a little bit of heat coming through here before it rose too much, but not a whole lot. If I'm sitting in this seat right here, then yeah, I was getting, you know, heat on me, but it still was rising because there was nothing on the top to prevent it from rising so quickly. So if I could figure out some sort of way to put a top on this, a temporary top on this that would fold flat, I mean, I guess I could get another heat screen and put it over the top of this, just lay it across the top, and that way it would force all the heat this way. Because this is convenient. The heat screen is convenient. It fits in this little thin thing, and it's when it comes for storage time, this would be perfect. So maybe I'll get another one and drape it across the top, because I don't quite know where that's going to go now that it's starting to feel more like spring. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting trying to put all that away. And don't think I have enough room under my bed for that thing. So we'll see. We'll see. It may have to go in the foot area of the passenger seat next to the propane tank, I guess, for now. That's kind of where I throw it when it's not in use, so it might have to just live there until I figure something out. But yeah, maybe another one of these screens and just covering the back half, or even the whole top, because the air can come right through here like it does with this heat shield. I don't know. We shall see, and when I figure that out next winter, I will let you know. Thank you, Mamie, for your question. I will answer your other two in the Q&A series, along with everyone else who's been emailing me. And if you have a question for me that you want answered in a video, please email it to me at crystal@crystalvanner.com. And don't forget to put Q&A as your subject line. And if you don't want any part of your real name given, make sure you state that in the email. I usually only use first names, or first names and initials of the last name, or just initials, so I don't make it so easy for people to know who you are. Mwah. Thank you for watching another video from start to finish without skipping and with watching as many ads as possible. But you've got a few more seconds left. I'll see you next time. You can help grow the family by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Get your own Vanner stickers, tees, and hoodies. And for exclusive content, check out Patreon.